Good evening everyone and welcome to this manic start of a brand new stream. Not only we're live and exclusive for one channel, but we're on multiple channels. And you probably think, what the hell's going on? I'm just going to try out something just for this evening, just to see if it would work. If not, then I'll leave it for next time as well. Bye. So, we are going to be in for an absolute classic. And when I say an absolute classic, we're going to be doing the F1 2022 cars on the Grand Prix 4 game. But also, this will be for the 93 season tracks. So it's kind of a little bit of a mixture. Now, I said in Twitter I was going to do the 1998 version of the whole season, and I will do that. Don't worry, I will do that. There's just some technical faults with the mod itself, so hopefully I'll get that sorted as soon as possible for you guys. But I am looking forward to it because this is going to be an absolute classic. We're going to be doing, like I said, we're going to do the 1993 season tracks, but with the F1 2022 cars. Now, some of the tracks have never existed with DRS, so this is going to be quite interesting. This is going to be straight to live. There is no cuts. There's no, dynamic scenes. It's hello, Reese. How you doing? Hope you came well. But yeah, multiple channels itself. So not only we're on one channel, we're on multiple. So it's on YouTube, on Twitch, and also on Twitter as well. So it should be quite interesting to see how everything plans out at the moment. But as I'm doing the stream, there'll be I'll try my best to do no interruptions, but hopefully we'll try our best to do the track and the stream itself. Now, like I said, this is the first time I'm doing this, so it may work, may not work, but I'll try my best to catch up with the chat and see how it goes. But I'm trying to do it as if you're watching it live and exclusive, and this is how I do the commentary, as I do it for each and every single week in the Invictus Racing League on their channel, and all the other channels as well. So this is going to be quite interesting, and I hope you enjoy it, because this is going to be totally different. Like I said, I'm on the WWFC 2009 channel on YouTube, WWFC 07 on Twitch, and also on Retro Wolf Live on both YouTube and Twitch, as well as the F1 Malk on Twitter as well. So we're going to look forward to it. There's going to be so many carnages. I'll try my very, 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 very best. So bear with me. I'll do my very best to try and make sure we get everything all covered and ready to go. So here we go. This is the Kyalami, is how you pronounce it. This was the first ever track in the 1993 season at South Africa. Now, as I said, this is going to be F1 2022 cars, and first round, there'll be 16 rounds. We're going to do the normal 25 points, because I think that might be a little bit fairer than the old 10, 8, 6, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, etc. So here we go. I hope you'll enjoy it, and this is the very first time doing this commentary stuff. So, as in like doing it through the Grand Prix 4 separately. So this is going to be quite interesting. So here we go. We're going to go straight in. Now you probably think, what's going to happen? This is going to be a 50% straight to race. I'm not going to mention about the qualifying, because you'll find out who's going to be in the qualifying at the end, who got the qualifying at the end. It would be a lot easier to understand, but there we go. So here we go. We're going to go straight to the race itself. There'll be 50% race. I'm not doing the qualifying because it will mess up the interval of the director itself. Hello, Trev. How you doing? This is Love GP4. Which mod is this, dude? Looks great. This is the Grand Prix 2022 mod. It's the very first 2022 mod of the cars. Obviously, the track map will be wrong, as you see on the loading screen, but the actual basically I've switched it. So you got the 2022 mod, but when you're loading the tracks, it's the 1993 tracks. So that'll be interesting to find out, and hope you enjoy it as well, because this is going to be straight to live, no issues, no tissues, and so I hope that makes sense, Trev, to be fair. But Reese, I hope you're okay. I hope you send a link. Yeah, we'll do. I'll send you the link in a minute. Well, after I've done this race, and then, like I said, I'm not doing the practice or the qualifying. Yeah, I'm good. I'm doing. I'm glad you're okay, Maurice. I bet you're wondering why I'm talking different channels, because this is on Restream, so I can see the chat on different channels at the same time, so you can hear it there. Trish says, have you had any crashes on testing yet? GP4 feels broken on my 1994 version. To be fair though, I've seen a few crashes now and again. To be fair, I've seen a few crashes now and again, but not as bad. The only crash I've got on this mod at the minute is I can't get the 2014 stand-ins to start off with. That's the only problem I've got in this mod. Well, with any of the other mods. If I load up GP4 on its own without the CSM loading program, then it works fine. No issues, no tissues. But it's just when I'm loading the mods, it just doesn't like loading the actual stand-ins that I would have liked to have seen. And the one I'm on about is the one where it shows the stand-ins on the left-hand side. The 2014 version, I think it is. So you would have had all the cars in one go, to be fair. But yeah, I'll definitely send the link to you, Trev, don't worry. But I'm glad you're okay, Maurice. I'm doing very well. Like I said, this is the first time doing the stream separately from League Racing that I normally do. Just for this evening anyway, so see if it works. So, like I said, straight to race, no issues. There is a little bit of glitches. Trev says, yeah, that leaderboard only seems to work on qualifying, I think. Yeah, well, to me, it just doesn't work completely at all. It doesn't even load up when I do the graphics test, so weirdly. Go, go, go! Yeah, so let's go straight to the race. So, I will catch up with the chat, I promise you that. But enjoy the commentary, enjoy the race, and see if it's a lot better than the actual real life. But obviously we know that Max Verstappen has won the drivers, and the Red Bull have won the constructors as well. But if you watch the Brazilian Grand Prix, that was mad. I mean, Kevin Magnussen getting pole position in qualifying. What a joy for the Haas team to get themselves, after the struggles they had last season. And they've done well. But he was very unlucky on the race itself on Sunday. So it went from exciting all the way down to bad times. But yeah, you can't do anything about it at the minute. So here we go. Let's go straight to the first race. As I said, the only problem is, guys, is that the names underneath there, it's a bit of a glitch. Unless I had to load it up the cars again, that unfortunately that's what's going to happen. So. Unfortunately, do not based on those names underneath. They are the wrong names. But like I said, I believe it will be, well, it could be one of the either Leclerc or Sainz to start with. Then Hamilton or Russell. We'll find out in a minute. But we'll do the end of the qualifying so you can get the proper view of who started itself. So here we go. Just let me know if everything's going okay from your side, because I did a quick test ago. So here we go. There'll be no rain. There is no rain at all in the forecast of all the wet conditions. Of all the track itself. So there'll be a dry conditions race. Straight to the race. 50% race. Here we go. So we're just it's not Bahrain. It is the South Africa Grand Prix. So you might hear a couple of clicks on the Grand Prix of the keyboard itself. So Carlos Sainz, who starts off at the Grand Prix for round one of this manic fantasy F1 22. So 1 lights, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red lights. And we are go, go, go! It looks like Lewis Hamilton's trying to make the move on the. Oh, he's made a move. He's made 2 moves and he won. Oh, there's been a crash. There's been a crash. Lando Norris has crashed. Lando has crashed, and I believe that is Sergio Perez. Perez has crashed at the back. This is absolutely extraordinary moments in this Grand Prix. So, absolutely mad. Hamilton is in the lead. But Sergio Perez is out of the race. He is out of the race. that was a mad crash, to be fair. Unfortunately, there's no replay to look back on, otherwise I would have had to pause it and watch it back. But Lewis Hamilton is in prime position at the moment in first place, and he'll be absolutely delighted with that. Absolutely delighted, passing the two Ferraris. They did not expect that at all. They did not expect that at all. So Hamilton's trying to push on massively in this first lap. Can't do anything about it at the moment, but looks like Gasly dropped down quite a few positions from the first lap. But yeah, they come up to the end of the first lap. So Hamilton's done a fantastic job at the minute, trying to pull away from Sainz and Leclerc, who have been the better car at the moment. But Carlos Sainz is under a lot of pressure from his teammate of Leclerc. But you got Alonso out of nowhere trying to catch up, but Verstappen's also behind. So they need to do something about it at the minute. Leclerc's trying to put the pressure on Sainz to try and catch up to Hamilton, who's doing a fantastic job at the moment itself. But yeah, I mean, like I said, so just waiting to see. There we go. There you go. There's the graphics. As you can see, the different types of the graphics itself. But yeah, Lewis Hamilton is trying to push on massively. So just trying to see what's going to happen at this moment in time. But yeah, Hamilton's trying to push on. Leclerc is absolutely mad, to be fair. But Leclerc is really going for it now. Leclerc is really going to go for it now. He's trying to put Sainz under pressure, but can't do anything about it. And they're coming to the final few corners in this manic race. And we've got the two Alpines just behind, and they're trying to push on. Lando Norris, who was all the way at the back of the grid, cannot push on, to be fair. But after that struggles, Hamilton with the fastest lap of the race, 1:16.922. That's a good time, to be fair. 1:16.922. 36 laps, I forgot to mention, 36 laps at this manic track at the South African Grand Prix that you just joined in. It's been mad. It's been absolutely mad, because there's all the battles. There's no DRS. There's no DRS, and they're trying everything they can to catch up. It looks like Verstappen cannot get the move done, but Leclerc is still, Leclerc is still stuck behind Carlos Sainz, and they need to push to catch up to Hamilton. Otherwise, he's going to walk away with it like no man's business, to be fair. Why? But yeah, I mean, it's Lewis Hamilton is just going to be absolutely loving it. You can tell the difference. Oh, Esteban Ocon has locked up. He has locked up. But yeah, he's under a lot of pressure from one of the Alfa Romeos, and that is Guan Yu. So yeah, he can't afford to make a mistake at this stage. As well, we've got one of the Williams and Valtteri Bottas trying to battle it out with might be Albon. So Lewis Hamilton is absolutely loving this at the minute. Carlos Sainz had the fastest lap. Couldn't catch it at the minute, but he's at the fastest lap at the moment. At the moment, Perez is out of the South African Grand Prix, not South American, South African Grand Prix. After that collision earlier on in that first lap between himself and Lando Norris, who had the fastest lap just at this stage. But there's so much battles, you just don't know which one to pick. And yeah, it's just Valtteri Bottas is now making the move to it about the moment. No! Oh, come on! Come on! You want to make the move? You can't do it now! Oh, you can't do it! He cannot make that move just yet. Still back up to the top two between Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. But Verstappen's still struggling behind Alonso. Cannot do anything about it. Just watching the speed of Alonso. Can Carlos Sainz push on? Yeah, that might have been close, to be fair. But it looks like Russell's trying to catch up to Verstappen, but cannot catch up at all. But this is where the tyre wear, and this is where the strategy is going to kick in at this stage. Because Leclerc is struggling. He needs to try and get past. Yeah, he needs to try and get past Carlos Sainz as quickly as possible. Otherwise, they're just giving away. They're just letting Lewis Hamilton just completely go. But yeah, it's been a mad start, to be fair. Absolute mad start in this Grand Prix. Esteban Ocon, he had that lock up earlier on. He was under a lot of pressure from Valtteri Bottas. but cannot do anything about it at the minute. Cannot do anything about it. So it needs to push on. So not Bottas, sorry, Guan Yu. So Hamilton's still pulling away, probably about 3 seconds now from the Ferrari, the two Ferrari teammates. But if you was watching the race, it's like the two teammates, they need to sort themselves out because you can't afford to mess up. 2.6 the gap now, so Hamilton's going to be loving it. Oh, Charles is adding. Oh, I thought he was going to make the move then. He was teasing to make that move, but cannot do it. Cannot do anything about it. The two Alfa Romeos still battling out. Carlos Sainz still in second place. You can just see Hamilton just coming to the final corner, and they need to push. You can watch behind and look. Oh, I don't know if he had a bit of a back moment from Leclerc, but cannot do anything about it. Leclerc is still there. Alonso for Verstappen. They're having a great battle actually for 4th and 5th. But a mad race, to be fair. Absolutely madness. So Esteban Ocon still pulling away, trying to catch up to Schumacher in 11th, but still can't do it with that double left-hander. It's down the straight. You can see the Haas cars just ahead of Schumacher and also Kimi Magnussen. But the fastest speed at the moment is Alonso, 167.7 miles per hour. Leclerc is still behind. Leclerc is still behind with this Ferrari. They need to push. Don't they wish they had all those DRSs kicking in on back in 1993? Oh boy, indeed. But yeah, it's been a great start to this race. But Leclerc had the chance. Valtteri Bottas has made the move onto Albon. Bottas! Oh, brilliant move from Valtteri Bottas against Albon. But Lewis Hamilton's still pulling away. He's absolutely loving it at the minute. But he can't make a mistake. We're on lap 7. I can't believe it's been that quick. Lap 7 of 36 of this epic South African Grand Prix. But yeah, Schumacher, Ocon still pushing on like no man's business. Gasly is trying to catch up to... Oh, he's made a mistake at one of the corners, so he'll be under a lot of pressure. Hoping that's not going to compromise too much, but he's trying to... I don't know whether he's struggling at the minute, but might need to push on. Might need to try and push on as quickly as possible. But it looks like Alonso has got the best speed at the minute. So yeah, Lewis Hamilton, who lost out from the last couple of seasons... Well, a couple of seasons of the last time he's won the Drivers' Championship. But what happened if he had the real life in this 1993 tracks? At this season, to be fair, 16 tracks overall. Be quite interesting actually with these same points itself, but they're struggling. I mean, the Ferrari cannot catch up to Hamilton, who's absolutely loving it. Carlos Sainz is doing a brilliant job to hold up his teammate, but the Ferrari team needs to step up a gear. It looks like Lance Stroll, the two McLarens are trying to catch up to. Contact. Looks like Lando Norris trying to catch with Lance Stroll, but cannot do anything about it. Looks like Danny Ricciardo's trying to put the pressure on Albon for 16th place, but cannot do anything about it at the minute. So yeah, Hulkenberg is in 9th place. Magnussen's in 10th. Well, Hulkenberg is taking over from Vettel on the first race, because that's what happened in the first race of the proper season. But interesting to see how they're going. Looks like Danny Ricciardo's making a move on the inside. 2 in a bad moment. Cannot do it yet. Oh, Albon's struggling. Albon is struggling with that Williams car. He cannot do anything about it at the minute. And I'll tell you what, Williams... They've been struggling with the car. They've been struggling with the car this season. After they had Russell last season, they had been some unbelievable moments. Danny Ricciardo trying to hold on. Looks like Alonso. Oh, Alonso's lost the back end, which is brought Verstappen into play. He's made the move. Verstappen made the move on the inside. Looks like Alonso is struggling, and Russell should have made that move perfectly, but he's under a lot of pressure. Alonso holding on, but can Russell take the advantage? He can't yet. He can't take the advantage just yet, but this has been unbelievable scenes. Pierre Gasly cannot catch up to his teammate at the minute. He cannot catch up to his teammate. He's still in 8th place, but needs to put the pressure on as much as possible. Fernando is struggling like mad. Pierre. Oh, Hulkenberg's holding on, but cannot do anything about it. They're still struggling. There's been a few overtakes in this race. There's been a few overtakes, which has been good, to be fair. So, just interesting. Looks like Russell's trying to put the pressure on Alonso, but cannot do anything about it. But Lewis Hamilton is absolutely lovely. He overtook 2 Ferraris at the start. The 2 Ferraris had a bad start on the starting grid. Lando Norris made the move perfectly against Albon. Oh, brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant. Unfortunately for the Williams team, they're at the back of the grid. They're at the back of the... Well, so the two teams... the 2 drivers from Williams are at the back of the grid. I hope they capitalise on pushing on as quickly as possible. But yeah, Albon needs to try and push on. But Latifi, I believe he had his first pit stop. So he's going to try and push on. Valtteri Bottas in 14th, trying to catch up to Guan Yu. Oh no, Latifi did not have a pit stop. He must have had a mistake at some point during this race. So Lance Stroll trying to use that straight line speed to catch up, but cannot do anything about it. So yeah, but Norris is right behind. He's really eager. The McLarens have been really struggling in this race. To be quite honest, they've been really struggling. But Charles Leclerc, he's going to be... He's still struggling. They need to sort out. The Ferrari team needs to sort out because Verstappen's just behind. If they don't decide what they're going to do, they're losing out so much time on Hamilton, which is really frustrating because that's what they need to do. And Lando's made the move on to Stroll. No, he thought he would make the move perfectly, but cannot do anything about it. Oh, lock up. There's been another lock up for Albon, so hopefully that's not going to cause any too much havoc during this race. But yeah, it's been a mad race. And like I said, guys, this is actually live, no cuts, no bruises, nothing like that, straight to the race. And 5 seconds is the gap between Hamilton and Sainz. 5 seconds, mad. But yeah, if you just joined in, good evening to you all. But yeah, this has been the first time ever the F1 2022 cars. Oh, Norris trying to make the move. He's struggling. Good evening to Trapper. He says, you're weirdly good at this, lol. But you know, I've been doing a lot of commentary. And to be fair, so here we go. Can they push on? Looks like Latifi. Yeah, Latifi is always struggling in that Williams car. He always has been. But Hamilton's over 5 seconds now. 5 seconds now is the gap. And he's doing an absolute stellar, I'll say that again, absolute stellar job. 12 laps. We're already 1/3 of the way. 1/3 of this race in this first ever F1 2022 cars, but 1993 season tracks. Just to see what would happen if they played the 1993 season. Not the points, just the tracks. Kevin Magnussen, he's under a lot of pressure from Mick Schumacher. Oh, he looks the back end. Oh, one of the cars has just gone off track. That looks like an Alpha Tauri. That is an Alpha Tauri. We'll find out in a minute. That is weird. They go wide. If you lose that car, you lose that traction. That's it. That is it. It's game over. Absolute game over. But here we go. Carlos Sainz is doing absolutely stellar of a job. Alex Albon is still locking up as always with that car. Needs to stop locking up. He needs to catch up to these drivers. Right. But if you like what you see so far, guys, please make sure you like. If you're on the YouTube channel, subscribe if you're on YouTube, or follow if you're on Twitch. Would be a massive help to myself So Charles Leclerc needs to push on Albon, still the back, and trying to catch up to 17th place, but nothing about it at the minute. So yeah, it's just starting off to split the group a little bit, which is not ideal. To be fair, it's not ideal. But the battle for second, third, and fourth is really heated up, and I say that again, it's really heated up. Looks like George Russell's trying to battle out with Alonso for fifth. But yeah, the two Ferraris are still battling out. So Albon is in 18th and still pushing on. Again, another lock-up. That was... I believe that might have been Tsunoda. I mean, that had that earlier went onto the gravel itself. So Albon already trying to pull away from his teammate Latifi in 19th place. Charles Leclerc is really getting frustrated because Verstappen is going to pounce. He is going to pounce. Oh no! Oh my God! Did you see that? Did you see that? He lost the car, Albon. You could tell. You could tell he was losing it by quite a few lockups. And he hit the barriers. And Albon is out of the race. He is out of this race. And there's a wheel on the track. There is a wheel on the track. Oh my God. Latifi. And there's an invincible crane that picks up the cars out of nowhere. So, that is... Oh my God, Leclerc's got the chance to make the move. Oh, he's frustrated. He's getting really angry at Carlos Sainz. If he doesn't make that move the next time, Verstappen is going to capitalise on it. He really is going to capitalise on that mistake. So Lance Stroll in 16, trying to catch up to 15th place, but he's still putting Norris, still frustrating Norris behind in 17th. But like I said, the McLarens have been having a torrid time this race, an absolute torrid time, and you never know what's going to happen in this Grand Prix. And Nico Hulkenberg, who Vettel is unfortunately out, not retirement or anything, but Hulkenberg just took over just for this race. But Gasly was trying to defend for all his might. Leclerc needs to push. I think the gap's probably about 6 or 7 second gap between themselves, the Ferrari themselves, and Hamilton. And Hamilton's loving life at the minute. Absolutely loving life. But I wouldn't be in the Ferrari shoes at the minute. Mick Schumacher's trying to catch up in 9th place. I believe that is Kevin Magnussen. It is Kevin Magnussen. But yeah, there's so many battles with their teammates, they just don't want to give in at all. And they're in for good points as well, the Haas team. Back up to the top 4. Looks like Charles Leclerc still under pressure. Norris is now made the move. No, he did not make that move done. He's really under a lot of pressure. Well, Stroll's just making it frustrating for him as much as possible. Again, going back and forth to that battle. Latifi's getting way behind, catching up to Stroll in 17th. Ever since he made that mistake, he still cannot catch up. But if you just joined, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you all. If you missed out what's happened, Perez is out of the race on the very first lap. You heard that right. On the very first lap, after collision with Lando Norris. So they'll probably have to be checked by stewards after. Carlos Sainz is really trying to push those tyres all the way to the end. Well, not all the way to the end, but try and go as far as he can before some of the drivers will pit in. So yeah, but if you like what we've seen so far, make sure you like, subscribe, follow, or press those buttons. That'll be a massive help to myself as the commentator just for this evening. And if you do like it, we will put on once every week, just to see what would happen in the race and the standings itself. Guan Yu trying to hold on against the battle of Bottas. Leclerc is absolutely really angry now. I know I keep saying it, but he's got a chance. He's got that slipstream, trying to push that pedal to the metal, but he still doesn't know what to do. He really does not know what to do. If they had the safety car in this mod, it would have been a little bit different. And would have helped Latifi, and won't get lapped very soon. But Leclerc is absolutely, he's just frustrated. 7 seconds is the gap between Hamilton and Sainz. But I'm very impressed with Hamilton tonight. After that start, that he needs to get that good start. Oh, Alonso's lost the back end. And Russell, what a move actually. What a move. And I don't know if the two Ferraris is trying to make the move, but can Alonso get bounced back? He can't. Russell has finally made the move on Alonso, and now Russell's in 4th place. Oh no, 5th place, sorry. Getting ahead of myself. Looks like Verstappen cannot make the move. Lando Norris is trying to make the move on the inside line. Stroll is really frustrated. Some of the drivers are on the mediums as well as the softs. There is differences of the tyre wear. So the softs will be the quicker tyre, but they do wear quickly. The mediums are like average, so they like half the distance and half the wear. And if you was on the hards, it would be longer and it wouldn't wear down for a very long time, but you will be slow on the time itself. So, what a race so far. Hamilton is absolutely loving life in that Mercedes. He really needs to push on from that struggles of the championship struggles. Carlos Sainz he's doing a magnificent job to hold up to his teammate and Verstappen. But yeah, Magnussen's trying to pull away from Schumacher in 9th, but trying to catch up to Hulkenberg in 8th. But yeah, I mean, I love this track actually. Considering that this was in 1993, I can't remember when was the last time we raced in South Africa. But it has been, it looks like it was like not a narrow track, should we say. But there's been some overtakes. But the Ferrari team will be asking questions after this race. We'll be wondering what is going on. They should have split. They should have swapped. Because Carlos Sainz is going to be, well, I say that every time in every lap, but he's holding on for dear life. There is no DRS. There is no DRS in this track. So yeah, Nicholas TV is already over 1 minute of this race. And try to cut to Norris, but yeah. Verstappen is in the pits. So Verstappen is in the pits trying to do the undercut to avoid. He got stuck behind the Ferraris, so I will not be surprised. Pierre Gasly is also in the pits now. So Esteban Ocon is in the pits. But the two Ferraris, it looks like Daniel Ricciardo is also in the pits. But Leclerc needs to do something. Grenier in 10th under a lot of pressure from Bottas in 11th. But yeah, I expect the Alfa Romeos to be higher up, probably about 8th to 7th or 8th, but they've been really struggling near the back. But Hamilton's trying to push on. I wonder if he's going to go into the pits in this lap. But lap 19 already, lap 19, over the halfway marker. So Lance Stroll trying to put on pressure on Lando, who had a great move earlier on in this race. Latifi is in the pits now. Let's see what Stroll can try and do to catch up to the McLaren. And Verstappen just ahead. So Carlos Sainz is still going out. So yeah, it's just an intriguing ending. I think some of the viewers have just wanted to find out what's going to happen at the end of this race. But yeah, there is no wet conditions, there is no rain confirmed at all during this race. So we are going to be expecting a dry race. Lando's now going to the pits. I'm determined to watch to the end long. That's what Trapper says on the chat. So Carlos Sainz is doing a fantastic job. But yeah, the two Ferraris, they're still in the podium. Kevin Magnussen is making the move on to Latifi, who's already been lapped. I was going to say a great move, but Latifi needs to get out of the way. He needs to let the other Haas through of Michael Schumacher. Mick Schumacher. You know, keep fighting, Michael. Keep fighting. If you ever watch the stream. So Lance Stroll is under a lot of pressure from Gasly. Gasly! Gasly! Oh, fantastic move. The only overtakes that we have seen is from that corner that we just went past. But fantastic stuff. So the two Ferraris need to decide what they're going to try and do. Well, Hamilton's not pitted yet. Which is weirdly enough, Hamilton's not pitted yet. Well, some of the drivers have already pitted. Bye. But yeah, it's been fantastic. Guan Yu is in the pits now from 11th. Verstappen's now got the fastest lap of the race, 1:15. So it's they mean business now. The Red Bull will give them some wings, some moments. Looks like Verstappen trying to put the pressure on one of the Alfa Romeos, the Ferraris. Danny Ricciardo in 14th place. So he's trying to push on that soft car in that soft tyres, and nowhere near to be seen from Guan Yu or from Hulkenberg itself. So I feel sorry for Danny Ricciardo, actually, to be fair. I feel sorry for him because he's not the same driver as what we saw from the Red Bull days, where he was dominant and he was, well, I say dominant, he had a good car. He had chances to win the race. I remember the one where he lost out in Monaco, where the pit crew have not done well for him. It looks like Carlos Sainz and Alonso are now finally in the pits. Kevin Magnussen's now in the pits. So Charles Leclerc and Russell will try and catch up to Hamilton, who's absolutely loving life at the minute. So yeah, Lance Stroll is in the pits. But it looks like Carlos Sainz, who just put on some fresh tyres, now chasing the pack. It looks like, I think that might be Ocon and Gasly. It looks like, oh my days, I think that might have been Verstappen ahead of, I believe it was Guan Yu. We'll have to check if he did make that move. If he did, fair play to him. George Russell, who's a livid Wolves fan, I'll tell you that now, wink wink, he is a Wolves fan. And he actually won the Brazilian Grand Prix in real life, so congratulations to him. Unfortunately, if you've not watched the race and you still don't know the result, I am so sorry. Tough, to be fair, absolute tough. But here we go. Can they try and push on? Leclerc's now finally in the pits. Sonoda's just gone past the lapped car of Latifi. Or Lance Stroll. Oh, a bit of a lock-up. You can't. If you do lock up the car, you will lose out time. Bottas is now in the pits. But compared to the time, look at that. He's already lost 8 tenths. Stroll's lost 8 tenths of Alonso. All because of that lock-up. And you can't afford to do that. You cannot afford to do that. Mick Schumacher in third. And try and catch up to Russell is in second. So the two Mercedes are finally in the top two. But they have not pitted yet. So can Mick try and do something out of the ordinary? So Alonso in 15th place. So he's trying to catch up to Stroll. There's about a 5-second gap. But Lewis Hamilton's still not pitted yet. He's got to be careful though, because the tyre wear could go at any point. He's already done 24 laps already from those tyres. 24 laps out of 36. That's insane. Now the rule for like different tyre wear, I don't think that's on this mod. So whatever happens, if it changes, it changes. It doesn't. But Mick Schumacher is trying to catch up to the top two, which a little bit of a struggle, but he's doing everything he can. Another lock-up from Lance Stroll. Look what happened. Albon did the exact same thing. And what happened after? He lost the car. So it'll be interesting to see if he can try and hold that car. Hopefully there'll be no more safety car moments. to try and push on down the straight. So Lance Stroll. But yeah, fantastic stuff. Lewis Hamilton is still in first place and been like that since the first lap. After that, starting from third all the way to first. But yeah, it's just absolutely insane. If you are watching the stream, good evening to you all. I'll be having a fantastic evening on the Monday evening on the 14th of November 2021. So 2022. Going back a year for some strange reason. We are going back in the 1993 season, but this time it'll be the 2022 cars, but 1993 tracks, but 2022 points, if that makes sense. So I would have liked to have seen, would the cars be beneficial if they had the 1993 tracks? So Russell, well, Verstappen's in fourth. The top three have not pitted yet. Same as Tsunoda in the top five. And Magnussen's the only one who's not pitted. He's dropped all the way down to 18th. Must have made a mistake at some point. So Verstappen, he's chasing up to the top three and doing so well. And he's already gained 4/10 off Tsunoda from that one part of the first sector. So Schumacher, Stroll is trying not to avoid any more lockups. But I was expecting more crashes, to be fair. I was expecting more crashes. I did a test, I think I did a test earlier on at Darlington Park, and there was a massive crash. And it was a wet condition track. I'd be loving if it was a wet condition track here. Tsunoda's trying to catch up to, I believe, Leclerc just ahead, but cannot get that slipstream, cannot make it count. But yeah, it's been a mad race, absolutely mad race. So Tsunoda's trying to not lose that back end on that last corner. 26 laps already on this track. The top three have not pitted yet. The top three have still not pitted, and I'll be very worried. I'll be very, very worried when the tyre wear is going to pop at any point. But they're doing everything they can. Verstappen will possibly catch up. Normally the pit stop's roughly about 25 seconds normally. So Russell, you can tell, is pushing that car to the limit. And he's doing everything right. He's doing everything right, but cannot do anything about it. If you are liking the stream, make sure you like, subscribe, follow. Will be a massive help. Will be an absolute massive. Oh, brilliant move! Tsunoda did not expect that at all. He's struggling. Gasly's just behind. But that is a great move. I believe that might be Carlos Sainz. If it is, that is a great move actually. Out of nowhere. 7 seconds is the gap between himself and Hamilton. But yeah, if you just joined in and you missed out what happened at the start, Perez was the first casualty of this season's F1 22 Fantasy League, should we say, or Fantasy Races of this season with the 1993 season itself. And Albon, unfortunately, he had a bit of a couple of lockups, and then he just completely lost it and hit the barriers and lost his wheel completely. Yeah, absolutely lost his wheel. You got Danny Ricciardo still trying to pull away. Looks like Latifi's still struggling with the lapped situation. Fernando, who's in, I believe, outside. Well, he's in 15th place and cannot do anything about it. Ocon's already 3 laps behind. He's already 3 laps behind. I'm wondering what happened to Ocon and to Magnussen. So unfortunately for them, I think that they're quite a few laps behind. So Ocon has now made the move. No! He can't make the move just yet. He cannot make the move to Tsunoda. Tsunoda's defending for all his life. I'm surprised that Hamilton, Russell and Schumacher, they have not pitted yet. They need to do something. They really need to do something. Otherwise, look at Verstappen. Verstappen's 2/10 behind. Well, I think it was 2/10 behind. But yeah, he ain't messed about for Verstappen. If you can get ahead of Schumacher, that is a great start, and that is perfect for him. Ricardo holding on for 10th. Latifi, poor him. He's going to be under a lot of pressure from the two Alfa Romeos. Needs to get out of the way because he's already been lapped. Yeah, they've got the two Alfa Romeos and also the McLaren. And that's one down. Got a couple of cars that need to get out of the way and not to cause any havoc. They're not to cause any havoc itself. Verstappen is now in third. Verstappen is now in third place. Bottas trying to make the move. This is going to be causing a lot of havoc. Latifi needs to get out of the way. He needs to bring Lando Norris back into ahead of Latifi. There'll be a few question marks. At the end of this race. But I tell you what, there'll be a lot of controversy moments at this race itself. So Hamilton is still in the lead in first. I am worried that his tyres are going to pop. At any moment in time. If they're not, I am shocked. I am absolutely shocked. One of the Ferraris is trying to go around the outside, but onto on the Haas car, but nothing about it at the minute. But I'm just watching Danny Ricciardo in 10th place. Trying to go down the straight, down the hill now, and turn right. But overall, guys, this has been a good race. This has been a really, really good race. I'm surprised that the two Mercedes on those soft tyres, they have not popped yet. And it looks like Hamilton... Is Hamilton pitted? Is he finally pitted? I don't think he is, you know. He hasn't pitted. So, Tsunoda, Hamilton, Russell, Schumacher in the top 10, and so as Magnussen, they're all not done a pit stop. That is weird stuff going on. And fair play, but that's going to cause controversy at the end of this race. If Hamilton does not pit, same with Russell, if they don't pit, then there'll be controversy moments. Well, there always will be anyway. So we have to wait and see how they plan out. But I'm very surprised that, like I said, Schumacher, the two Mercedes, and Tsunoda, they have not pitted yet. I'm hoping they don't cause any havoc. But the times are going to lose out so much. So Verstappen will be licking his lips in the next few laps and would be enjoying it. They need to pit now. They really need to pit now to stand any chance to make that move. But Hamilton is saying no. Is he finally going to the pits? I don't think he is. He's still going out again. But Alonso! Oh, I was getting excited then, but it was Latifi. But that was a good move. Whatever happens, that was a great move around the outside. Verstappen is under a lot of pressure now from one of the Ferraris just behind. There might be Leclerc. It is Leclerc. So Russell is 5 seconds now, the gap between himself and Hamilton. But the top two have not pitted. This is going to be a dramatic ending. If Verstappen can do it, oh, this is going to be a lot of talking points. And I hope so. I really do hope so. This is going to be unbelievable scenes. So Lando in 13, trying to push on onto the Alfa Romeos. Alonso's trying to go on the inside. Sorry, Ocon's going on the inside line on Tsunoda, and that's a good move. That's a great move actually to get himself ahead. And he needs to do that. Try and catch up to Hulkenberg. So can Lando try and do the same thing again on Tsunoda, or not? What Ocon did. We have to wait and see. So Hamilton, look at the tyre wear. The tyre wear is completely worn out. We got 5 more laps remaining. 4.8 is the gap. Hamilton, who started off on those soft tyres, he has not pitted yet. There might be an inquest. At the end of this race. There might be a glitch actually. They probably don't want to pit, but they need to do something because at the moment, wherever happens, Verstappen will be in the lead if the two Mercedes are finally going to get themselves in the pits. But I just don't know where they're going to get it from, to be honest. I just don't know where they're going to get it from. Mick Schumacher's under a lot of pressure from one of the Ferraris. I think that might be Carlos Sainz. So Carlos Sainz, Tsunoda is also holding on against the McLaren just behind. You can just see him briefly, and he's doing really well. Doing really well. And that was Ricciardo, actually, not Norris. It was Ricciardo. This is why you can't check the cars or check the standings until you see them on the screen. Russell, I don't know how, but Russell's... oh, Leclerc's locked up! Leclerc's locked up. That's not good news for him. That is not good news for him. The tyre wear will be messed up. Will be absolutely messed up. So, yeah, it's been mad. Absolutely mad. He's trying to catch up to Verstappen, who's in third place. But the gap is 4 seconds now. The gap is 4 seconds. Lap 33. 4 more laps to go. 4 more laps to go. Can Valtteri Bottas make defending for all his life against Ricciardo? The answer is yes, he's defending for all his might. But can I get past Guan Yu? But yeah, this has been a mad race. The only closest battle we can see at the moment is Sainz and Gasly in 6th and 7th, the way it looks. But Lance Stroll is trying to hold on in 14th, with Alonso just behind in 15th place. But yeah, fantastic races. Looks like Latifi, who's already been lapped quite a few laps ago, just been mad scenes. To be quite honest. Here we go. We're on a few more laps remaining. The timing, I'm worried that the tyre wear is going to go. You can see Verstappen. Look at Verstappen. He can see Russell. Ahead. Hamilton, Russell, they have not pitted yet. I'm surprised they haven't pitted yet. But they can see Hamilton. Carlos Sainz in 5th place. Cannot catch up into 4th place, but you can see behind it was like a Haas, and also I think that might have been a Aston Martin. I might be correct, might be wrong. But Valtteri Bottas is... oh, Tsunoda! Oh no! Tsunoda's out! Tsunoda's off track! He's off the track! He will not carry on! He is out of this race! Tsunoda, who hit the gravel... can I... oh no, I'd stand corrected. He told me off. On the stream. Because some of the cars, they get stuck on the gravel and they can't move. But he's very lucky. So Tsunoda drops himself all the way down. They have not pitted yet. So there might be an inquest. Of the pits. Might be a glitch. But you never know. So here we go. I think that might be Mick. It is Mick. Mick is trying to put the pressure on. Gasly just ahead. I think that's Carlos Sainz. Yeah, Max Verstappen's in 3rd place. Hamilton, Russell. I'm surprised the tyre wear's not blown up yet. This is absolutely shocking. And I don't know how. I don't know why. But they should have been pitted by now. But look at Verstappen. Verstappen can see Russell. And it's not many long for the laps to go. But this has been a classic. Wherever happens, this has been a classic race. Verstappen could get 2nd place. Might actually get 1st, depending on these two not pitted at all during the race. But you got Leclerc, who's in 4th and chasing the pack. Yeah, poor Latifi, who's driven everything he could just to hold on in 16th, but I'm not sure what happened to Ocon or Magnussen. Look at Verstappen. Verstappen's right at the back of Russell. This will be lap 34. No, it's lap 36. This is the final lap of this race. And now Hamilton Hamilton, who has not pitted, I said again, they have not pitted at all. I might have to do an inquest on the change itself of the tyres, but it looks like Carlos Sainz is trying to catch up to Verstappen, but cannot do anything about it. Tsunoda is just strolling away after that mistake and that gravel a few laps ago. But Hamilton will be absolutely loving it because, well, I say loving it, there'll be a few inquests at this stage. Because himself and Russell and a few drivers who have not done their pit stop. Look at the top. Look at Hamilton. Hamilton's struggling. Esteban Ocon is still in 17 under a lot of pressure from the McLaren just behind. And they come up to the final few corners. I'll not be surprised if Verstappen got himself up to second place ahead of Russell. So they come up to, I believe they come up to the final few corners. Yeah, look, Lewis Hamilton will cross over the line, and he has won. He has won the South African Grand Prix, but we will have to have a talk about that. To be honest, we'll have to have a talk about that. But Hamilton has won the South African Grand Prix first time. Verstappen did get himself ahead in second place. Well done to him. Russell, I believe, will finish off in third place. So just bear with me a sec, guys. Sorry. So yeah, Lewis Hamilton did get the first place. Oh, crash! That was a massive crash. Surprised they didn't do that during the race, but I'm glad the race is finished for two of the drivers because they've completely lost. It looks like Ocon and Ricciardo completely lost their cars. That's insane. Absolute insane. Yeah, so race has finished. So the race has been over, but we'll go through the classification for you guys. Hopefully the mouse will let me do it. Actually, I have to do it in first. So for the African Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton is in first, Max Verstappen in second, George Russell's in third, Charles Leclerc in fourth, Carlos Sainz fifth, Pierre Gasly sixth, Mick Schumacher seventh, and Nico Hulkenberg is in eighth. Now, if you are still watching the stream, what do you think should happen? Do you think they should have the, should the points be kept for the Mercedes even though they didn't pit, or should they be dropped, disqualified because they didn't actually pit in that situation? So I'm going to show you the relative on there. So Lewis Hamilton is in first, Verstappen is in second, missed out. Russell is in third, so well done to those three. Leclerc is in fourth, Carlos Sainz fifth, Gasly in sixth, Mick Schumacher is in seventh, Nico Hulkenberg is in eighth, Danny Ricciardo is in ninth, Guan Yu is in 10th, Bottas is in 11th, Lando Norris is in 12th, Lance Stroll 13th, Fernando Alonso 14th, Tsunoda 15th, Latifi was already a lap behind, Ocon was nowhere to be seen, well, he was way behind, he was like 3 laps behind. Kevin Magnussen was also, did not finish, same with Albon and Perez, so we did not know why he had to do that. Enjoy your night. I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for joining. It was an absolute pleasure. So that's the average speed. Unfortunately, I'm not going to show the fastest lap because they don't do fastest laps itself. So, but that was the Grand Prix. We'll look back on the qualifying positions for you guys. Sorry, just bear with me a sec. The starting grid, if in case you just joined in and wondering who had the starting grid. Carlos Sainz was in first, Leclerc second, Hamilton in third, Alonso fourth, Verstappen fifth, Norris sixth, Perez seventh, Gasly eighth. You got George Russell 9th, Kevin Magnussen 10th, Tsunoda 11th, Schumacher 12th, Hulkenberg 13th, Ocon 14th, Guan Yu 15th, Albon 16th, Bottas 17th, Ricciardo 18th, Lance 19th, and Latifi in 20th place. But yeah, it was just absolutely insane. Here are your race classification. So your fastest lap was a 1:15.689 from Max Verstappen. That was a great lap, to be fair. Absolute great lap for him. So he will get the fastest lap of the race and probably the win. We'll have to find out next week, whatever happens. But yeah, guys, if you liked the stream, please let me know. Will be a massive help. Will be an absolute massive help to myself as on the stream. This was the first time I've ever done this live and on all channels. Everyone should be watching. But if you are watching, if you want to get any more comments or anything to help me out in the near future for the next stream, let me know and I'll do that. But for myself, hopefully we'll get the stream sorted and give you all the latest info of the times itself. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you to Trevor, thank you to Little Trapper, thank you to Reese, who joined in earlier on. I don't know what happened to him after, but yeah, thank you guys. You've been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to shoot off. I hope you all have a very good evening, and we'll catch you all next week for round 2 of the 1993 season, but this time with the F1 2022 cars. I believe next week, correct me if I'm wrong, next week is the Brazilian Grand Prix. So that'll be looking forward to that as well. So here you go, guys. I'm going to shoot off. Hope you have a very good evening. Ta-ra a bit. Bye-bye.